Hey folks, your OS Reviews are watching our video review of the Anart SPC-01 W8. This is a Wi-Fi enabled 1080p HD action camera that sells on Amazon for only $70, which is incredibly inexpensive compared to competitors by SJCam and of course the GoPro series. As a Wi-Fi enabled sports action camera, you can connect it onto any Android or iOS smartphone with an application, and it allows you to use your phone as a viewfinder and to control when you want to start recording video and when you want to stop. The camera itself features a 12 megapixel sensor, which is pretty good, and also a 170-degree wide-angle lens. It also has the ability for you to customize the frame rates and also the resolution. Battery life for this camera is rated at 70 minutes, which is about average, and the really only limitation of the hardware is the screen size, which is only 1.5 inches diagonally. That's a bit smaller than competition and makes things kind of difficult to see if you plan on using the viewfinder directly built onto the camera. Luckily, there's Wi-Fi, so you can just use your phone. That makes things a lot more comfortable. Inside the box, you have access to a wealth of different accessories and mounts. For instance, you have access to a waterproof case that is pretty useful. You have access to all the controls like the power on off switches, and also the ability for you to zoom in and out, cycle through different functions, and to start recording and stop recording. So it's a pretty nice case that comes inside the box for free. There's also the ability for you to customize different mounts for different bikes, helmets, so on and so forth. There's also a full-size AC adapter for charging the camera itself. It takes roughly 2 hours to completely charge up the battery, which is also pretty speedy. You also have some 3M sticky pads for attaching it more securely onto a helmet or onto a mount. And the very top compartment, you have access to the instruction manuals, the warranty guides, a soft microfiber cleaning cloth for the display, as well as a micro USB cable for charging and syncing. You also have access to a lanyard strap as well, and also a quick thank you card. So definitely a lot of things are included for the price that you are paying. Extremely good value for the money. Taking a look at the design of the actual camera next, again, it resembles the SJCam series in a lot of different ways. It also can be compared to the Xiaomi Yi camera in other ways as well in terms of price point, and also the quality of the video is quite impressive for what you are paying for the money. So taking a look at this, I can quickly take the camera out here. You can see that the size-wise, it's pretty fair as far as the weight in the hand. It's crafted out of a layer of soft touch rubber, which makes it feel pretty grippy and easy to hold. There's a power on-off switch on the very top, and you also have access to shooting controls and LED lights along the sides that tells you the mode the camera is currently in. On the sides, you have access to up and down keys for selecting through different menus, such as zooming in, zooming out, as well as going back and forth between settings. And on the back, you have access just to that, again, 1.5-inch display. Again, it seems a little bit small compared to the competition, which tends to take up the entire glass panel. So that's the only limitation, again, for the hardware. 2 more LEDs so you can see what's happening. When it's recording video, it's going to flash red. And on the other side, there's actually no door covering up this flap. You have access to a micro HDMI port for putting the camera out onto an HD monitor and viewing back your images or videos, a micro USB port for charging, and also a micro SD card slot. There's no micro SD card included in the box. That's something to quickly note, but otherwise a pretty simple presentation. All the buttons themselves feel pretty nicely and built and responsive. They are tactile and easy to click. They aren't going to be pressed accidentally either, which was a problem that we found on some other models we've seen. This one feels pretty stiff and responsive overall. The display offers decent viewing angles, although it does wash out if you tilt it too much. And overall, it's definitely very wide angle, so you can definitely see the table around you. Everything around your field of vision can be captured quite decently. And on the bottom left-hand corner, you have access to the battery status. Again, it lasts for roughly 70 minutes or so. During operation, we found that the camera itself didn't really overheat and the temperature was roughly moderate, I would say. If you do have Wi-Fi turned on, it's going to drain the battery faster than if you just shoot it without Wi-Fi. And if you turn Wi-Fi on, it's only going to record for around 45 minutes before you have to recharge the camera itself. Colors in the shots are pretty accurate. We're going to give you guys a quick clip, sample clip, which was shot in bright daylight in 1080p next to give you guys a taste. As you guys saw from that quick sample clip, the video quality is actually very good, especially in bright sunlight. You can see that colors are accurate, they're saturated, and they are quite vibrant. Details are also captured quite decently for an action camera of this size and at this price point. In fact, it performs as well as other action cameras we've seen that are maybe $100 or $150, while this one is only $70 and it includes Wi-Fi, which is incredibly inexpensive. In terms of getting it to work with an Android or iOS smartphone, you do need to use the instruction manual. There is a QR code that you need to scan with your phone to download the app, and afterwards it's pretty easy to set up. You can't be connected to a Wi-Fi network at the same time. You have to just be connected to the camera, and afterwards it's going to be set up. There is a red LED that's going to flash that shows us that the Wi-Fi status has been connected, and the viewfinder here can also be turned off, and you can see that everything is working. There's a slight delay, again, with most action cameras we've seen that has Wi-Fi. The same thing can be said about this particular model. As you can see, whenever we're moving it around, there is that slight delay, but overall it's not bad at all, and it's a lot more comfortable than squinting at the display on the action camera itself, which again is a bit small at only 1.5 inches. The application itself is quite stable. It's also very easy to use. It's simple to operate. I can change resolution. I can check out the battery status on the actual camera, the connection range status, as well as start recording video and view back my images or videos in the gallery. So it's very thought out, and we didn't encounter any bugs or anything like that, which is great, especially at the mini UI next. We can see there is a pretty simple to operate grid-like UI that shows you the video functions, the photo functions. There's a burst mode for taking images, as well as a time-lapse feature, which I didn't really expect on this particular action camera. It actually works reasonably well. I would recommend putting on the waterproof case if you do want to use it outdoors, and you can shoot some time lapses with nature, and it does a decent job for that. You can also play back your clips and images directly on the device, as well as go through settings, changing the power off modes, changing the beep, which is the small speaker on the sides, as well as other settings for resolution and frame rates. On the sides here, you also have access to a mode key that allows you to cycle back and forth directly onto the various features and to move back and forth. You can also use the side navigational controls, and that works decently as well. So at the end of the day, this particular action camera, produced by Anart, it only sells for $80. It actually works surprisingly well. Again, we thought it wouldn't compare or hold a candle to the much more expensive SJ Cam series, and some of those action cameras sell for $150 and they don't even have Wi-Fi on board, but we found that this action camera actually has a very good video resolution for the price, and the added Wi-Fi feature actually works flawlessly with the bundled application, which was also quite surprising. Battery life is decent, and the only real hardware complaint that we had would be the addition of a larger display on the back would have been nice, but overall it has very good build quality and great performance for the price. To learn more information about this particular action camera, be sure to read our full written review, but this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS.